Hey YouTube. Hey guys, how's it going? Uh 31 days of October, 31 movies. That's the challenge. It's October 1st and I have watched a horror movie. In this case it was a mini series. It actually took me 2 nights to get through it, so I was glad I started it a couple days ago so I could actually review it. I have seen it before, but it's been a long time, so I needed to really refresh. Something I just picked up, which I really enjoyed. And I love Stephen King's books. I hadn't read this one, but I love Stephen King's books and I love Stephen King's movies, almost all of them. Very few I don't like, so you may see a few Stephen Kings in the 31 days. But this one is Storm of the Century. Uh, what an interesting plot, what an interesting movie, I thought. It's a small New England town. It's the same setting as Dolores Claiborne, which is another movie I haven't seen. Uh, a small town where they can keep a secret. That's the premise of the movie, I suppose. It says on the cover, an unspeakable evil has arrived. Well, this is the same guy, and what is his name? Calm Fiore, Colm, Calm, Feore. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, but you recognize him maybe as the yeah, in Thor. He was the king of the ice giants. Uh, when Thor goes to battle, and he's the king. You kind of see that in the eyes there, can't you? A little bit. I don't know. He's got this menacing look, this grin that he's got. Really evil looking dude. Well, here's the premise. It's a small little town in New England. It's sort of narrated by Tim Daly, who plays the sheriff. And as he says, the story's over now, but he still keeps an eye on the town from time to time. And so he's thinking back a few years, a number of years actually, maybe 20 years, something like that, to when these events occurred. And a big storm was brewing. It was coming, big winter storm, maybe one of the biggest ones ever to hit the Northeast. And it was all going to converge right around this little island town. Of course, surrounded by water. The only way to get there is by boat. And the of the 400 residents, 200 had left when the storm was coming. They were all getting off the island, and so left about 200 of them to battle it out. And early in the movie, in the miniseries, this gentleman walks up to an old lady's house, knocks on the door, and when the old lady answers, he says something like something about born in lust, turned to dust, born in sin, come on in. And then he proceeds to take her walker and throw it. We just see it fly. You don't actually see him grab it. And then, I don't know if he did grab it. And then next thing you see his cane, which is a kind of a silver wolf's head cane, kind of come up and go to club her. And the next thing you see is blood on the floor. And he's sitting in her chair where she was just having her tea before he knocked. And he sips her tea with a little grin on his face. And along comes a boy carrying a basketball to the house, and for some reason he's compelled to go in. He sees the woman dead on the floor, and all of a sudden the voice from the chair says, "You'll never be a basketball player. You're too short. You're too slow. Come over here. I'll make it easy for you." And of course the boy throws the ball and runs, and runs down the street in a panic. And he comes across the town manager. These little towns, rather than have a mayor, they just had a manager. The town manager, who's kind of a big wig, I guess. And he's going to go check it out. And he goes down to check it out, and the man is still sitting in the chair. He hasn't moved. And he tells the man something, similar cryptic comments as he had made to the old lady and the boy. And the town manager runs out, walks out quickly, kind of spooked, calls the sheriff, tells him to get down there right away, the constable, played by Tim Daly. And Tim Daly comes in, and sure enough, the guy lets himself be taken into custody. It's all a creepy thing, though. You can just tell there's something wrong with this guy by his calmness and the way he looks around and grins and kind of sizes things up and says very few words, except for, "Give me what I want, and I will go away." He says to Tim Daly, and he says, later we'll have the discussion. And so from there's problems getting him into what is their jail, which is really the back of the general store that Tim Daly owns. He's converted into kind of a jail cell. You can tell they don't have a lot of prisoners. There's like one cell. And the back door that he tries to go in is for some reason it won't open. Well, there's something's going on, obviously. This man seems to have something, and you see his dark eyes. His eyes are all dark a couple times. And once in a while, throughout the early parts, and throughout the whole movie, or the whole miniseries, when someone ticks him off a little bit, he'll go, and you'll see he's got really sharp teeth sometimes. Not always. His eyes aren't always black. Sometimes they're red in the dark. Spooky guy. So while this guy sits in the jail cell, all sorts of weird things are going on. People hang themselves, take an axe to their own head. Kind of one of these deals, right in the face with it. Murder each other. And as things get worse and worse, and the storm gets worse and worse, more and more things go awry. It becomes obvious this guy is not human. Don't know what he is. Maybe he's a demon. Maybe he's a wizard. Maybe he is the devil. Who knows? But something isn't right in this town, and this guy is behind it all. And Tim Daly's trying to figure it out. He knows the guy's not human. There's something different about this guy. And as time goes on, finally the man will reveal what he wants, and that's kind of the crux of the story. But well done. The blizzard effects are well done. The whole idea of it being cold and power goes out. They have to use a generator, and then they're going by candlelight, and you've got all the women and children kind of like in a town hall, and the men are all guarding this guy. Not that it does any good. As they're guarding him, he can do what he wants. He seems to have powers beyond anything that they can comprehend. So it's really an interesting miniseries, and I highly recommend it. I would give it a high rating. I would give it like an 8 probably. Characters are well developed. You care about a lot of these townspeople. You either hate some of them or really like them. You hate this guy from the beginning. You hate him all the way through to the end. And Tim Daly's character you root for. It's a very compelling movie. It's not the best thing I've ever seen, but it's a really good miniseries. I thought it was well done. Probably doesn't match up to the book, but I haven't read the book, so I can't say that for sure. But I really enjoyed Storm of the Century. I thought it was a good, something somewhere around an 8, I guess, if I had to rate it out of 1 to 10. It would be a good movie, not just a horror movie, but a good movie in general. So Storm of the Century. Hope you enjoyed that, guys. That is my review. Picture quality. That's the movie itself. Picture quality on this DVD, fair. Give it about a 5 or a 6. The audio quality was okay, similar. This is not a 5.1 surround sound deal here. It's a fairly old DVD, and it is DVD. I don't know if they even put this on Blu-ray. I picked it up cheap, like $6, and I was happy to pick it up for $6. I love anything Stephen King, and there's a lot of entertainment on this thing. It's one of these flipper discs, which I absolutely hate. It's 2.0 Dolby surround sound, by the way. It was okay. I mean, it was coming out of my back speakers and my front speakers at different times, and I did enjoy that, and especially the sounds of the storm and the waves, and so it was probably a little better sound than it was picture. Maybe it's more like a 6 or a 7 on the sound, and more like a 4 or 5 on the picture. Again, it's DVD quality. It's not VHS quality. It's better than VHS. It's a decent DVD, but it's not a crystal clear one. It looks like a TV movie. Not bad though. So anyway, that's what I would give it. I haven't listened to the commentary, but this one has the commentary by Stephen King, there was a couple versions. There was a different version than this one. This one's going on Amazon for like $40. I don't know why. I guess it's out of print, but FYE has it. You can find it at FYE, and probably on eBay too for like, I think I paid $7 for it. So yeah, about 500 minutes. I'd say it's well worth your time. So that's my first horror movie for day one of the month of October. Okay, guys, take care. Enjoy Halloween later on this month. Oddly, what they do here is they tell you when Halloween is. Never saw anything like it, but this town. So if they don't want it to be on a Thursday, they'll make it Friday, which is actually, in a way, it's good. They do keep it toward the weekend so that the kids can go out and do their thing and not have to get up for school, I guess. But it's just weird. The nice thing is, if I were still young and I was going out for candy. If you go one town over, they have it on the actual day of Halloween, and this one has it whenever they announce it. It's usually not the same day as the actual Halloween, so you really can go out when this town announces it, and then go, or vice versa. Sometimes they do go after Halloween, believe it or not. Some of them actually into November before they announce Halloween. It's weird. As many years as I've been here, I still can't get over that they do this. But it works out good if you want to go both places. So you can go two different towns. The other town's only 10 miles away. And you can go to that town and trick or treat. And then you can trick or treat here as well and get a double roundup. So I guess that part's good. All right, Storm of the Century. It's not babbling. Storm of the Century. I liked it. I recommend it. Somewhere around an 8, give or take. I think it was an enjoyable movie, though. All right, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the first one of these. And I'll be back with some classic ones, black and white ones, as well as some more semi-modern ones like this as well. All right, take care.